Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world of rare British coins, where history, beauty, and hidden fortune collide. Every coin you've ever held tells a story, but some tell stories worth hundreds of dollars. From forgotten mint errors to coins struck in the earliest years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, these small pieces of metal have turned into treasures that collectors chase across the globe. So fasten your seatbelt, because today we're uncovering another hidden gem, a coin that may be lying quietly in your old change, yet could be worth far more than you ever imagined. And speaking of coins that changed British history forever, let's begin with the 1968 British 5 pence coin, the very first of its kind, marking the dawn of a new era in the United Kingdom's currency system. And today, one of the most valuable treasures ever struck in modern British coinage. The year 1968 was a defining moment for British currency. It marked the beginning of a revolutionary transition, the move from the old pre-decimal system to the new decimal currency. The Royal Mint was preparing the public for decimalisation, and the 5 pence coin was among the first of this new era. Unlike previous coins that followed the centuries-old pounds, shillings, and pence format, the 1968 5 pence coin symbolized a modern Britain stepping into the future. It replaced the old shilling and was designed to match its size and weight, easing the nation's shift to a decimal system that would officially launch in 1971. On the obverse, the coin proudly features the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, a design that became instantly iconic and represented continuity amid massive change. Her calm, regal expression on the coin embodied the stability of the monarchy during this transformative period. The reverse of the 1968 5 pence coin was crafted by Christopher Ironside, depicting the crowned thistle, a symbol of Scotland, unity, and pride. This imagery was not just decorative, it represented Britain's strength and heritage even as the nation modernized. But what truly sets the 1968 5 pence coin apart from the rest is its place in history. It was the first year of issue, a pre-launch coin, and the foundation of Britain's entire decimal coinage system. Only limited quantities were struck for circulation and presentation sets, making them highly sought after by collectors today. These coins were not simply currency, they were symbols of innovation, progress, and national identity. Owning one means holding a piece of the exact moment when Britain began reshaping its entire monetary structure. Over the decades, most 1968 coins were either lost, worn down, or replaced by smaller 5 pence coins introduced in 1990. But those surviving in brilliant uncirculated or proof condition have become jewels of British coin collections. Collectors around the world prize these coins not only for their beauty, but for their historical importance, the very first 5 pence ever issued. And when a coin holds that kind of first-of-its-kind status, its value can rise far beyond its face value. Today, depending on its grade, condition, and provenance, the 1968 British 5 pence coin can fetch impressive amounts in auctions and private sales. While a worn example might seem ordinary, a pristine, untouched, or proof coin can command up to $700 in the right collector's market. That's right, a small silver-colored coin, once worth just 5 new pence, can now reach hundreds of dollars simply because of its rarity, historical importance, and immaculate condition. And as time moves on, fewer of these coins remain in collectible shape. Each year, as more disappear from collections or get misplaced, the remaining pieces only become more desirable and valuable. The allure of the 1968 5 pence coin lies in its story, the beginning of Britain's decimal journey, the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, and the enduring charm of an era that defined modern coinage. Every collector who owns one knows it's not just a coin, it's a turning point in British history, sealed in metal, a symbol of progress, royal legacy, and monetary evolution all in one. So if you ever come across a 1968 5 pence coin, don't overlook it. Examine its shine, its details, and its date, because you might just be holding a miniature masterpiece worth far more than you think. For those lucky enough to find one in perfect mint condition, the reward could reach up to $700, turning an ordinary pocket piece into a collector's dream. So keep your eyes open, your collection growing, and your passion for history alive. Because sometimes, the smallest coins tell the biggest stories, and the 1968 5 pence is one of those stories that will only grow more valuable with time. As Britain embraced its new decimal era, another coin followed, larger, bolder, and just as historic. Now, let's turn our attention to the 1969 British 10 pence coin, a shining symbol of modern change, and one of the most valuable early decimal issues ever released under Queen Elizabeth II. The year 1969 stands at the very dawn of the decimal age. Britain was preparing to leave behind its centuries-old pounds, shillings, and pence system to welcome a simpler, more modern structure. The 10 new pence coin was at the heart of that transformation, a symbol of progress, precision, and change. When this coin was introduced, it replaced the old 2-shilling piece, keeping the same size and metal composition to make the transition easier for the public. It was a bridge between the past and the future, familiar in feel, yet revolutionary in purpose. Struck in cupronickel, the 1969 10 new pence coin glistened with a silvery shine that captured Britain's modern spirit. On the obverse, it bore the iconic Arnold Machin portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, her youthful image crowned with grace and strength, embodying stability in a nation moving toward change. On the reverse, the design by Christopher Ironside depicted the proud, rampant lion, a fierce emblem of England's heritage. It wasn't just a decoration, it was a roar of national pride, captured forever in metal. But what makes the 1969 10 new pence coin so valuable today is not just its beauty, it's its historical significance and scarcity. This was the first official year of issue, the coin that laid the foundation for Britain's entire decimal coinage. Every collector knows that first-year issues are the crown jewels of numismatic history. The 1969 10 new pence was minted without a mint mark, struck at the Royal Mint in London with exceptional craftsmanship. Many of these coins entered circulation, but only a small portion survived in pristine condition, and that's where the true value begins. Over the years, countless 1969 coins were worn out, lost, or melted down when the smaller 10 pence coins replaced them in 1992. Today, finding one in brilliant uncirculated or proof-like condition is like uncovering a time capsule from the day Britain's money system was reborn. Collectors across the world search for these early decimal coins, not just for their monetary value, but for their symbolic power. They represent Britain's leap into the modern age and the enduring legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. And let's not forget, every coin from that year carries its own unique charm. Some exhibit mirror-like finishes, some were struck with sharper dies, and a few presentation pieces were given to officials and dignitaries. Those special strikes can fetch astonishing prices when offered to the right buyer. The maximum recorded value for a pristine, proof-quality 1969 10 new pence coin has reached an incredible $1,200, depending on rarity, shine, and certification. Imagine a coin that once bought next to nothing, now turning into a four-figure collector's treasure. This rise in value isn't just luck, it's the natural reward of time, rarity, and collector demand. As each decade passes, fewer examples remain untouched, and that drives prices higher. For coin enthusiasts, holding this 1969 issue isn't just about money, it's about touching the start of Britain's decimal revolution. It's a reminder of how even small coins can carry the weight of great change. So when you come across a 1969 10 new pence coin, don't dismiss it. Examine its shine, its edges, and that noble lion on the reverse, because you might be looking at one of the most historically valuable coins of the modern British era. Every gleam of silver, every engraved line, tells the story of innovation and royal legacy, a story now worth hundreds, even over $1,000 in the collector's world. It's living proof that history rewards those who recognize value before others do. And in the world of rare coins, the 1969 10 new pence stands proudly as one of the brightest examples. As time moved forward, Britain's coinage continued to evolve, designs changed, metals shifted, and the nation's money grew smaller, yet more refined. But among these modern transitions, one coin stood out once again, the 1992 British 10 pence, a piece that redefined the look and legacy of the decimal era. And today, it shines as one of the most valuable treasures ever struck under Queen Elizabeth II. This isn't just another coin in your drawer. This is a piece of history, a symbol of transformation in the United Kingdom's currency system, and one that collectors around the world are now chasing with passion. Let's rewind to the early 1990s. The Royal Mint had a mission to modernize the nation's coinage. The older, large 10 pence coins had become heavy, bulky, and inconvenient for daily use. Change was coming, literally. And in 1992, the revolution happened. The Royal Mint introduced a brand new version of the 10 pence coin, smaller, lighter, and more practical for the modern era. It was an engineering marvel for its time and a landmark moment in British monetary history. For the first time since decimalisation, the 10 pence coin was completely redesigned in size and composition. The large coin that had been used since 1968 was retired, and this new, compact version took its place. The obverse of the coin proudly bore the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, radiating elegance and authority, while the reverse featured the iconic crowned lion, a timeless symbol of British pride and strength. The 1992 issue wasn't just a redesign. It marked the very beginning of the small-size 10p era. These were the first coins of their kind, the ones that would set the standard for decades to come. And this is where things get interesting, because among these coins, there exist select examples that have become extraordinarily valuable. You see, 1992 was a transitional year, and whenever a nation transitions its currency, there are bound to be variations, special issues, and low-mintage rarities that slip into circulation. Collectors know that these early 1992 10 pence coins, especially in pristine mint condition, represent the first of the small-size generation, and that historical significance alone makes them highly desirable. Now let's talk about value. A perfect, uncirculated 1992 10 pence coin, untouched by time, preserved with mirror-like surfaces, can command impressive sums in the collector market. In recent years, top-graded specimens and limited-proof issues from 1992 have been valued as high as $2,500, with some rare examples and error strikes even listed for more in private collections. These are not ordinary coins. They are the foundation stones of a new monetary era. And the beauty of it all, they could still be sitting unnoticed in people's collections, drawers, or old jars of change. The rarity of pristine 1992 examples has only grown over time. As more collectors realize the significance of this date, the first year of the new 10 pence design, the demand continues to rise. It's not just about metal, it's about meaning. This coin represents evolution, modernization, and the enduring legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, during which Britain constantly adapted to changing times. Holding this coin is like holding the moment Britain took a bold step into the future, balancing tradition with progress, monarchy with modernization. So if you ever come across a 1992 10-pence coin with a flawless shine, no marks and crisp details, don't dismiss it. That small disc of metal might just be worth a small fortune. Some collectors have turned these hidden gems into $1,000 treasures, simply by recognizing what others overlook. The value of history lies not in its size, but in the story it carries, and this coin proves exactly that. So take a moment tonight, check your old wallets, your jars of change, even those forgotten albums of coins. Because that 1992 10-pence might just be your unexpected reward, a piece of the United Kingdom's monetary revolution, and potentially worth up to $2,500 in today's market. And now, we arrive at the final gem of our journey, the 2003 British 10-pence coin. A coin that marked the end of an era and the continuation of Queen Elizabeth II's legacy in the 21st century. Beautifully struck, steeped in history, and highly sought after by collectors, this last coin in our list stands as a shining symbol of Britain's modern heritage, and one of the most valuable treasures you could ever find. The year 2003 may not seem remarkable at first glance, but in the world of numismatics, it represents a fascinating moment in the history of modern British coinage. A year when precision, design, and rarity came together in unexpected ways. To understand why this particular coin stands out, we must travel back to the early years of the 21st century. The United Kingdom was in a period of modernization. Technology was evolving, design was becoming sleeker, and the Royal Mint was continuously refining the quality and durability of its coins. The 10-pence coin had already gone through major transformation a decade earlier. In 1992, it was reduced in size from the original large 10p to a smaller, lighter version, easier to carry, easier to mint, and better suited for everyday life. By 2003, this smaller version had become the standard across Britain, yet that year's mintage stood out for a few reasons. It was one of the later years before the great redesign of 2008, when the Royal Shield series would completely change the look of British coins forever. The obverse of the 2003 coin featured the powerful fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, showing her wearing the elegant Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. It's one of the most admired portraits of her long reign. On the reverse, the crowned lion passant, designed by Christopher Ironside, roared proudly, a timeless emblem of England's courage and royal heritage. Every detail on this coin symbolized national pride and the unbroken continuity of the monarchy. Now here, where things get truly fascinating. While the 2003 10-pence coin was struck in large numbers, collectors have discovered that certain examples from this year possess remarkable qualities that make them valuable. Some of the 2003 10-pence coins were minted with extraordinary precision, flawless surfaces, and perfect edges. These coins, when preserved in uncirculated or proof condition, have become prized possessions for serious collectors. Additionally, a limited number of error coins from 2003 have surfaced, coins that were misstruck, off-center, or clipped during production. These rare errors have fetched surprisingly high prices, especially when authenticated by experts. Because of this, the 2003 issue has earned a special place in modern British coin collecting. It represents both the perfection of craftsmanship and the occasional mystery of minting anomalies, a blend that makes it irresistible to enthusiasts. In today's collector market, a brilliant uncirculated 2003 10-pence coin can easily sell for around $300 to $600, depending on its grade and condition. And if you happen to possess a rare error strike or a proof version in pristine packaging, values can rise even higher, sometimes reaching up to $2,000 or more among passionate collectors. That's right, a small 10-pence coin that once bought you a candy bar could now be worth thousands of dollars. It's proof that history, rarity, and quality craftsmanship never lose their shine. What gives this coin its lasting appeal is not just its potential value, but the moment in time it represents. The early 2000s, a confident Britain under Queen Elizabeth II, preparing for new designs and a new chapter in coinage. The 2003 10 pence is one of the final issues to carry the traditional lion design before the Great Royal Shield redesign, which means it holds the essence of Britain's numismatic past before everything changed. Collectors are now racing to secure perfect examples, especially those in untouched, mint condition. As time passes and more coins wear down or disappear into collections, the surviving high-grade pieces only become more desirable. So if you have a 2003 10 pence coin sitting quietly in your collection, it's time to look closely, because that unassuming piece of metal could be a true hidden gem. Check for shine, detail, and quality. If it looks untouched, flawless, or unusually struck, you might be holding something truly valuable, something worth hundreds or possibly thousands of dollars. Every coin has a story, but the 2003 10 pence tells one of pride, craftsmanship, and unexpected fortune. It reminds us that sometimes the smallest objects can carry the greatest worth, and that real treasure is often hiding in plain sight. So the next time you come across an old coin, don't overlook it, because what seems ordinary could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Keep your eyes sharp, your curiosity alive, and your passion for collecting strong, because in the world of rare coins, every piece tells a story, and your next find might just change everything.